I'm sick and tired of runners keep getting injured and still running. Stop getting injured and then run for a lifetime injury free. Listen, I don't know how clear I can be, but you're running wrong if you're getting injured. It's that simple. Now, maybe there's a disclaimer to that. If you are training for the Olympic trials next week, then you changing your stride completely isn't going to help you qualify for the Olympics, okay? Because you're going to be using different muscles and you're changing the way that you're actually running. However, if you want to run well into your 60s, 70s, even 90s, injury free, then pay close attention. Pain signals are simply your mind telling you that you are doing something wrong. Our body can tolerate an extraordinary amount of stuff, right? You can go into space for 6 months, a year, but then when you come back, your tendon strength, your bone density, all of that needs to be rebuilt because you didn't need to use it in space. We can sit the wrong way, we can lift weights the wrong way, we can run the wrong way and not know it for years, sometimes even decades later. But that tension over time is what creates the biggest problem. But I got good news for you. It's not too late to start running and keeping your run safe for the joints. Now, maybe you will have to sacrifice your PRs that you want to hit every single week. But over time, you will get faster, you will get better, and the tensions will free in the body. Because when you run the way that you are built to run, the joints distribute weight evenly through the body, right? The joints are not weight bearing, they're meant to actually be used almost like springs, a way for the energy to flow through the body. And so when you're using them that way, then the body naturally starts to free the tension. Now, most of you are overstriding, and that's why you're getting injured. And what happens when you overstride is that you strike the heel first. But here's the thing, you have 33 joints in the foot. But as soon as you heel strike, not only do you use no joints in the foot, but the ankle joint takes a lot of the brunt of the force because the ankle joint is locked. The knee joint is hyperextended and locked. The hip joint, the SI joint, that joint that needs to free on every step that prevents the femur bone from shooting right through the pelvis, that joint is locked. And you create this terrible posture, this terrible arch of the back where you're loading all of the joints of the spine. And believe it or not, there's 365 joints in the spine. And so we're using them to bear the weight. And imagine doing that for a 5K, for a 10K, for a marathon, multiple times a month or a year. The body can only take it so much. And so, for the love of everything I love about running, please change your stride and listen to me in this video. So, first thing we want to do is make sure that the feet are always under the hips. Okay, it's simple. When we're running, the heel goes towards the glutes. The heel doesn't reach forward for the ground. It's going towards the glutes, so the knees are coming up, right? The feet are under the hips, and we're driving the ground behind us. To start off, I suggest taking 3 steps for every 1 stride you normally would take. So just take smaller steps. And don't even believe anything that I'm saying in this video. That is fine. I want you to just go out and try this. Just run a mile with tiny steps and see how you feel afterwards. Because the only thing that matters when it comes to running, when it comes to you continuing to run, you continuing to want to run, because it's not just a matter of going out there and seeing how far we can run. I think most of you, if you're watching this video, want to actually enjoy running. And that's the big key. But how do we enjoy running if we're getting injured from it? If we feel terrible after a run? If we need 3 days to recover after a 5K or a half marathon? And so, to keep it easy on the joints, all that we need to do is make sure the knees are always bent. As long as they're always bent, we're using all of the joints in the body. We're distributing the weight through the body. And as you do that, all the muscles in the body are connected from the feet all the way to the skull. And so imagine these muscles now working the way that they're supposed to. Now the energy is flowing through, and you no longer have all these knots and all this built up tension, right? You start to become more mobile, more flexible, and some of the issues go away in your back and your hips and your knees. And so keep the joints soft when we run, feet under the hips, okay? And now that comes into your challenge for today. Hills pay the bills. And so this is all about doing hills today. Running uphill and running downhill. Why do we do this on a day where I want you to focus on keeping the feet under the hips? Is because this is the part that is really, really you're going to see the biggest benefit keeping the feet under the hips. Now, if you have a giant stride and it's completely flat course, you may run faster than I run. But when it comes to hills, I guarantee you that I'm passing you both uphill and downhill. So when I run downhill and I keep the feet moving, there's nothing stopping me. Gravity is going to propel me down the hill. However, if you have a long stride and you're taking fewer steps, as soon as that foot hits, it's almost preventing you from going forward. It's almost stopping you. It's a deterrent. And you're trying to slow down because you don't have the control. And the joints are taking so much pressure going down that hill because all of your weight is pushing it there, where it's creating these issues. Those smaller strides, I'm going to be weaving in and out of you going down that hill, and have fun doing it. I'm going to be just springing off the ground. With the only thing stopping me is me, right? And so gravity is just going to be my friend. And similarly uphill, believe it or not, when you overstride and the foot's in front of you, you're using different muscles to kind of pull the ground towards you. You're actually using your tendons and stuff that create in that tear, that wear on those places where you don't want the wear and tear. But when you're keeping the feet underneath you and you're pressing behind, you're almost like a gazelle bouncing off the ground, going uphill and just kind of leaping uphill and enjoying it and actually having fun and passing people who are gasping because of uphill. So I tend to pick up my effort going uphill, same as downhill. And downhill is kind of a breeze where I use very, very little effort. I'm able to relax and allow gravity to do the work. But I do pick up my effort, I think, going uphill because it's fun, right? It's fun, and that's what it comes down to, is running should be fun. And so go out there, try this, and have a good run. Enjoy yourself out there today, and we'll see you all tomorrow. We're coming up on Turkey Trot's getting closer, so get your miles in, and we'll see you guys all soon.